A reading from Rays of the One Life, weekly commentaries on the Bible and the Bhagavad Gita. This is week 7. The law is perfected in love. Truth is one and eternal. Realize oneness with it in your deathless self within. The following commentary is based on the teachings of Paramahansa Yogananda. In the Gospel of St. John, chapter 1, we read, "The law was given by Moses, but grace and truth came by Jesus Christ." Grace means the power to rise spiritually. Truth means the experience of divine realities, not the application in the outer world of that inner experience. Divine love is the soul's experience of oneness with God. Kindness is the human manifestation of that love. Grace is deeper than mere kindness. Wisdom is a divine experience. Justice to all is a human law, though divinely inspired. It follows as a consequence of the experience of wisdom. Truth goes deeper than mere justice. While following the law, we should strive always to trace it back to its origins in the vision of God. Therefore, Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita urges the devotee not to be satisfied with spiritual precepts alone, but to go beyond them to the direct inner experience of truth. In the 18th chapter of that great scripture, Krishna says, "Nay, but once more, take my last word, my utmost meaning have. Precious thou art to me, right well beloved. Listen, I tell thee for thy comfort this. Give me thy heart, adore me, serve me, cling in faith and love and reverence to me. So shalt thou come to me. I promise true, for thou art sweet to me, and let go those rights and writs duties. Fly to me alone, make me thy single refuge. I will free thy soul from all its sins. Be of good cheer." Thus, through Holy Scripture, God has spoken to mankind.
I'll tell you, I'll introduce you. We'll have our Whispers from Eternity reading now, and my friend and spiritual co-partner Denise Ruelas will be reading from the Whispers from Eternity, and it's from a book. It's a new book that Crystal Clarity published with this reading dedicated to God as Mother. And so the entire book is talking about the aspect of God as the Divine Mother. And the title of this poem is what?
I was made for thee. I was made for thee alone. I was made for dropping flowers of devotion gently at thy feet on the altar of the morning. My hands were made to serve thee willingly, to remain folded in adoration, waiting for thy coming. And when thou comest, to bathe thy feet with my tears. My voice was made to sing thy glory. My feet were made to seek thy temples everywhere. My eyes were made a chalice to hold thy burning love and the wisdom falling from thy nature's hand. My ears were made to catch the music of thy footsteps, echoing through the halls of space, and to hear thy divine melodies flowing through all heart tracks of devotion. My lips were made to breathe forth thy praises and thine intoxicating inspiration. My love was made to throw incandescent searchlight flames, to find thee hidden in the forest of my desires. My heart was made to respond to thy call alone. My soul was made to be the channel through which thy love might flow uninterruptedly into all thirsty souls.
Thank you, Denise. Today is a very special day. It's not only the commemoration of this topic, the law is perfected in love, but it's also Valentine's Day. So Valentine's Day is on Tuesday, so this is our Valentine's Day Sunday service. So I'd like to send everyone here my love personally there in Rhode Island. I grew up there in a sense. Swamiji asked me back in 2005, said, come go to Rhode Island, help with the work in Rhode Island. So my second wife, Dikshinian, and I were married in Rhode Island, and we were there until 2010, over 5 years. It was such a great experience for me personally. She passed away 2 years ago, and this this occasion is partly an opportunity for me to introduce to you my spiritual co-partner, Denise Ruelas. And she's a dear friend. You don't know her, and that's why I wanted her to read The Whispers from Eternity. This book that has just been released is not only by Swami Kriyananda, but Paramahansa Yogananda, God as Divine Mother, Wisdom and Inspiration for Love and Acceptance. And so I wanted to read from this book to give you a little glimpse into what it's about. Here, I just turned to the page, Yogananda's vision of Divine Mother as Kali. Mukunda worshiped God especially in the form of the Mother of the universe. Because his friends knew this was the focus of his devotion, they would happily bring him news of any new Kali temple they found in the vicinity in Calcutta. One day they came to him bearing tidings of a new temple. Mukunda smiled. You all go if you like. This evening, I prefer to stay home. Stay home? But why? Mukunda only smiled. His friends went to the temple and prostrated themselves before the image it held of the Divine Mother and chanted a few devotional songs. Their hearts were uplifted, but the upliftment lasted only for that evening. At home, Mukunda, Yogananda, as a child, went up to his attic room. Temples, too, have value primarily as aids to bringing people's devotion to a focus. But Mukunda's devotion had long since achieved that focus at the point of superconscious ecstasy in the forehead, and that is to say, in the frontal lobe of the brain behind that point. Mother with lotus feet, he prayed. Mother with hair spreading out over all creation. Oh, Mother, come to me. Mother, your smile twinkles in a million stars. O Divine Mother, tear asunder this veil of darkness which hides you from me. Long he called to her, years earlier when he had lost his earthly mother. His aching love for her had been redirected to the Divine Mother of the universe. Wise child, instead of grieving over our earthly losses, we should direct our love to God, where every pain becomes a blessing. And now, at last, that mother of all mothers had appeared to him. Kali, he whispered, Mother Kali, you have come. Oh, how beautiful you are. Mother, may my life be a song of constant love for thee. The Divine Mother smiled. Your prayer is granted. My child, though you shall have to travel far and bring many souls to my all-sheltering arms, in your heart of hearts, you will always be at rest in my formless presence. And as often as you call to me, whenever you desire it, you so often shall I appear before you in this form. Paramahansa Yogananda, he came to America in 1920, and in his autobiography, he talks about the experiences of his earthly mother's passing. And he was about 12 years old, and he was so distraught. He was sleeping, and at 4 a.m, the day of his mother's passing, his mother physically appeared to him while sleeping and said, come quickly to me. If you and your father are meant to see me again, you must leave now. And he woke his father up and said, Dad, we need to leave. We need to go to the train station right now and train to Calcutta and see Mother because she's dying. And the father was a businessman, very practical, very black and white in his determinations of things. Oh, that hallucination that you had is not real. And Mukunda said, if you don't leave right now with me and take me to see my mother, I'll never forgive you. And they went back to sleep, and they woke up, and a telegram arrived saying the mother was dying. So when they arrived in Calcutta, the uncle met them at the train station, and Mukunda, the 12-year-old Mukunda, said, what is the status of our mother's health? Well, she's doing better. The uncle saw the desperation in his eyes, the desperation to see his mother, his earthly mother, one last time, because in Mukunda's mind, he was going to throw himself onto the railroad track in desperation, in longing, determination, and devotion to see his Divine Mother. And when they found out, when they arrived and she had already passed, he just fell out on the floor crying. This is the devotion. The Guru shows us the devotion that we must have for our own loved ones. And ultimately to see the love that we have for our husbands and wives and for our mothers and fathers, for our aunts and uncles, that same love for our earthly family, we need to express also to this God within us. How do we do that? How do we how can we express our love for something that is we don't necessarily see every day? We have to understand that everything in this world is a manifestation of the Divine Mother. The Divine Mother is in everything. And one of the chants that Yogananda translated from Bengali, dedicated to Kali, was written by Ram Prasad, a great saint of Bengal. And the words are very, very sweet. Will that day come to me, Mother, when saying, Mother, Mother, my eyes will flow with tears. And even if we don't know the image of Kali, in Christianity, we have the image of the Holy Mother of God, of the Virgin Mary. I wasn't brought up Roman Catholic, but when I went to Assisi, I had the blessing of living in the town of St. Francis of Assisi for over 7 years. I lived in Italy. And I brought people on pilgrimage to that sacred town. Many, many times people from all over the world would come, and I was the pilgrimage leader. And we would go to the various shrines of God as the Divine Mother. St. Francis was a great worshiper of the Virgin Mary. And when I visited Assisi this last time in December of last year, January and December, I went to the town of Medjugorje. After leaving Assisi, I traveled to Bosnia Herzegovina, right next to Croatia. It's across the Adriatic Sea, and the Divine Mother, the Virgin Mary, had been appearing there. And so I went there mainly because I wanted to deepen my devotion to the God as the Mother Mary. Yogananda would often say, the mother is closer than the father aspect of God. And so it's good to have the image of the Virgin Mary on your altar. Last night when we gave our program, we had images of Kuan Yin, the Virgin Mary as appearing in Mexico, the La Señora de Guadalupe, and she appears in different forms. And in Medjugorje, she appeared to these children and was giving them prophecies of how the world would be transformed and changing in this day and time. And during my visit to Medjugorje, I had 3 apparitions. They weren't physical apparitions, but I came there with one intention, to have signs and wonders come to me. I wanted to experience that love, the touch of the Divine Mother. Swami Kriyananda, in the 1990s, he went on a pilgrimage to Medjugorje himself. And the trek to arrive at the shrine where the Divine Mother was appearing is so difficult. The slope is almost straight up, on rocky crags. Swami had 4 grown men carry him up in a chair to have an experience of the Divine Mother as the form of the Virgin Mary. And he got to have that experience, as I had. So it's not necessarily important to worship the goddess as Kali or Kuan Yin or the Virgin Mary, but we need to understand that presence of unconditional love, unconditional devotion is a part of us right now. And when I went to Medjugorje, I was singing this song that Swamiji wrote, Mother of Wisdom. Mother of wisdom, mercy, and grace, grant us thy vision, grant us thy peace. I sing this song with Denise accompanying me on this new CD, What is Love? We released it here not knowing that it was Valentine's Day. And so this new CD has this song, The Mother of Wisdom, on it, both in English and Italian. And during my time there, there were three signs that came to me. It was just a miracle. I have images. I'm in the process of writing a book, and I'm going to include a chapter in this book with these three signs that the Divine Mother gave to me. She came, she came at the shrine itself. It was freezing cold. I mean, it was extremely cold to the point where I couldn't meditate. And I was getting ready to leave. And I said, Divine Mother, I can't practice any more Kriya to offer you. It's too cold for me. And I had heavy coats and hats on. And just at that moment, the sun appeared through the clouds. And I could sit and practice Kriya and to feel her presence. And on another occasion, when I was leaving that day, I woke up in the morning, and there was an image of an angel on my wall in my hotel room. Now, some people would say, "Oh, that's nothing," but when you see the image, it has wings, it has a head. The light was shining through the curtains in such a way that it created an angel in my room. It had its logic to it. But I saw it as a true sign of my departure, that she was manifesting. And then the third sign that I had was when I was walking home one evening, there was a full moon, and around that moon was a rainbow of light. And that rainbow of light, I felt, was a symbol of her coming to me again. Divine Mother appears to everyone if we call on her name. And this is what Valentine's Day is really all about. It's not just the loved ones that we are in our earthly family, but the love, increasing that love and devotion to the Divine Mother. Swami Kriyananda, when he came to Yogananda, the first thing that Yogananda said to him, get devotion. He saw him very intellectual, very mental, very irrational. Get devotion. Another friend came to Swamiji. He was an engineer, very practical. He worked for NASA. He worked on the space shuttle. The first thing Swami, when he met him, was learn the guitar and learn how to chant to God and sing my songs. And he balanced the head, his mental energy, with the heart energy. And for us in the West, we tend to be more logical and more rational in our devotion. And that's why Yogananda said, get devotion. Know that the mother aspect of God is closer than the father aspect. Sing songs, sing the chants that we have on CDs and so forth to get that devotion and longing in your heart. This has been my personal path. And meeting Denise has been here for at Ananda for over a year and a half now. And my Dikshini passed away over 2 years ago. And it was as if she was blessing me to have a spiritual co-partner in the form of Denise. And we've been a great blessing for me to have a manifestation of the Divine Mother personally, working with Swamiji's music and playing chants. And we look forward to coming out to Rhode Island someday to do some programs. She's a concert pianist and plays a symphony violinist. And for me, my whole life, I tell people I'm in a new incarnation. Divine Mother has manifested herself. This is my feeling through this form. And I've told her that. And this is a part of my sharing with you today. On this Valentine's Day, seek God as Mother. Know that the Divine Mother of the universe is right within your very heart, right now. All we need to do is call on her, like we did in that chant that Denise wrote. Divine Mother, come to me. Fill me with your light. Fill me. God bless you all. We'll have our